Hello, you guys. How are you all? Thank you guys for being here. So tonight we're going to get into a new case, and it is developing quickly. I was going just to look at a couple things right before the live because I had gathered the things I wanted to look at and a bunch of other things we probably won't get into, different videos and articles and stuff. And I was kind of going back through to choose and new stuff. There was yet again another article, more stuff that came out. So I can't wait to kind of go through all of this with you. It's very sad and yeah, it's just very tragic. It's unfolding quickly, but it's still kind of up in the air. We don't know exactly what is going on, but let me show you what we're talking about. So this is Anna Kepner. She's an 18-year-old cheerleader from Florida, and she must really love going on cruises because this post is from her Instagram. If you look here, she's only got 4, and it's from a birthday cruise where her grandparents took her. Beautiful girl, and unfortunately, she was recently found dead under a bed, wrapped in a blanket on a Carnival cruise. Of course, when that came out, a lot of people, that headline grabbed their attention, but nobody really knew what happened or, and I don't even know why it was kind of thrown up at one point that it could have been, anything other than murder. I guess, if somebody overdoses and you get scared or something, but the fact to me that she was wrapped in a sheet under the bed is, the first and biggest red flag that someone is involved, right? So we're going to get into all of it. It's taken quite the turn already. So I found these articles from Daily Mail, and they are pretty long, pretty detailed. There's one video from local news we might watch, but I want to look at these 2 Daily Mail articles with you guys. Then we're going to go and look at just an article from New York Post regarding one of her TikToks, if we have time, because there is a lot in this, and there's a law and crime video that's got a lot of good information in it too that we might get to. So first, though, let me just kind of get through the basics with you guys so you know what's going on, and then we'll go through it all together. Actually, Kimberly, you did send this to me. I had just decided I was going to cover it, I think, when you sent it, because you sent it, Tess sent it, like a few people sent it, and I was like, whoa, I'm about to cover this. And I know Tess because we talked about it. So, okay. So now I know Daily Mail, some people see it as somewhat of a tabloid. If they're providing the same information as every other outlet, which from what I could see they are, they also provide a lot of photos and stuff. So that's why I tend to choose them, and they're very detailed. So exclusive. Now, before, at first we just hear that this happened, this young girl was found, but nobody knows who she was with, how a maid found her, by the way, you guys. So that's another aspect. How did her family not find her? Then now this is where things are developing. So the parents of Anna Kepner's 16-year-old stepbrother have admitted that he is considered a suspect in her mysterious death on board a packed Carnival cruise ship. I wonder if I can get that out of the way. Yeah. Anna, 18, was on a 6-day Caribbean getaway with her dad, stepmom, siblings, and step-siblings when she was declared dead in international waters between Mexico and Florida on November 7th. Now, I do know that the FBI is who is investigating this. So, because just when you read in international waters, right, it's kind of like, at least that's something that I think about. Sources say the cheerleader's body was found wrapped in a blanket and stuffed under a bed in her cabin. The grim discovery prompting FBI agents to swarm the Carnival Horizon when it returned to Miami a day later. Can you imagine, like, that day for her family on that ship? Before, I just can't imagine, because that was going to delay things, obviously. Court filings obtained exclusively by the Daily Mail confirm that Anna's stepbrother, and like I said, Law and Crime is reporting on these filings too, who cannot be named for legal reasons, now faces possible criminal charges. This gets really interesting. So, he is currently in the care of an unnamed third party, according to a motion filed by the boy's anxious father demanding urgent clarification of what is happening to his son. Now, his dad was not on this cruise. His mom and her dad took them on the cruise. His dad is in a legal battle with his mom. And this is where the information started coming out first, because dad started filing and he's like, wait a minute. Something's going on here. And wait till you see some of the things he's claimed, okay? So Thomas Hudson is seeking immediate custody of their other minor child, a 9-year-old girl currently living in Florida with Chantel Hudson and Anna's dad, Christopher Kepner. Chantel, stepmom, Christopher, dad. The respondent took the remaining minor children on a cruise with a stepchild of her paramour, his filing says. The 16-year-old child is now a suspect in the death of the stepchild during the cruise. While released from custody, the 16-year-old child is residing with a third party. This is a quote from dad's filing, that the 16-year-old child is a suspect in the death of the stepchild. Here we have Anna with what appears to be her stepbrother. He is 2 years younger, but he's quite a bit bigger. I didn't say hello to you guys individually, but hello, and I'm so happy to see you guys. Hey. I saw Andy, a Cobe, Tess, Pointer Lover, a Wolfie. Jay, hey J13, and hey Jay Warren, hey Allie, thanks so much for coming to my live. Of course, my pleasure. Hey Bendy, hey Brandy. Okay, so let's keep going because there is a lot, and this is, I don't know. It's my head is spinning from like reading and looking at this today. Look how beautiful. 18 years old. She had a lot to offer the world, but unfortunately, it appears that, this stepbrother, who is listed as a suspect according to his parents, because we're going to hear confirmation from the other side as well in a moment. There's a lot of violence and stuff happening around these kids, and it just got me thinking. It's really sad because a kid doesn't choose who they're born to, and you have these, let's just say, for instance, and I don't know that this is the case at all. This is just like a thought in my head. You have this family, right? And these young boys. And if there is violence in the home and they're seeing it a lot, do they become violent and start to reenact that? They don't know how to deal with their emotions. All they've seen is adults do it like this. I don't know. I'm torn. There's a lot to this. Let me keep going though. So the 18-year-old. So it gets into it actually here in a moment. There's mom and stepmom and dad. Okay, so the filing adds the 16-year-old's future has been put in jeopardy because of the choices made by the respondent. This is what dad says in this filing, okay? That the 16-year-old's future is now in jeopardy because of the choices made by stepmom. He goes on to say the youngest child is at immediate risk of abuse, abandonment, or neglect in the care of the respondent. Chantel filed a response late Tuesday denying allegations that she abused, neglected, or abandoned her children. She added, quote, "It is true that there is an open investigation regarding the death of the biological daughter of the stepfather, and boy's initials is a suspect regarding this death, which occurred recently on a cruise ship." So there's mom. Again, like I said, it's going to be verified from the other parent here in a second. There it is. Chantel, mom, said the boy was staying with one of her relatives and she is providing counseling for all of her children. Bubbly Anna grew up on Florida's sun-drenched Space Coast with Christopher, his ex-wife Tabitha, and siblings, aged 14 and 9. Christopher and Tabitha split in 2023, but the crane operator soon found love again with Chantel, who divorced Thomas Hudson last year and relocated to Titusville with their two youngest kids. Last year, Thomas accused his ex-wife of willfully violating court orders and denying his parenting time in a motion for contempt in Brevard County. They were due to square off in court next month, but Chantel filed an emergency motion Tuesday requesting more time to respond due to an extremely sensitive and severe circumstance. So yesterday, she's asking, I need more time for this custody case because there's something serious going on right now. Here's Anna, with her step-siblings, step-brother on the left, and remember the little girl that's now 9. I'm thinking that's her on the right with their faces blurred, which good. Here they are again. She said the FBI had advised her that one of her minor children faced a potential criminal prosecution related to Anna's death. Any testimony the respondent may give, either written or oral, could be prejudicial to her or her adolescent child in this pending criminal investigation, Chantel's lawyer wrote. Thus far, FBI has refused to say how Anna died or whether she was murdered on board of this Carnival Horizon, which visited Jamaica, Grand Cayman, and Cozumel before sailing back to Miami. Sources have told Daily Mail that Anna complained of feeling unwell on the evening of November 6th and went back to her cabin. When she didn't appear for breakfast the next day, her family members began searching the sprawling $800 million mega vessel, which carries up to 4,700 guests. A maid eventually found the youngster wrapped in a blanket, covered over with life jackets and stuffed under a bed, according to our sources, who spoke under condition of anonymity. The medical examiner lists her time of death as 11:17 on November 7th, but has not revealed their findings, and they won't. We know that. Heartbroken Christopher insisted in a previous interview with the Daily Mail that investigators had shared barely any details with him. Can you imagine you get with a new partner and their child kills your child? Oh my God. They look like a normal family, but the more I've read, it sounds like there are contentious feelings in the past. Oh yeah, it seems like there was some violence and some tough stuff happening around these kids. Hold on. I don't know what happened. Okay, sorry about that, you guys. We were there as a family. This is the source that spoke under anonymity. Everybody was questioned. Everybody came off that ship. I don't know who they are looking at or what their investigation is, he said. The FBI hasn't shared anything with me yet. I would imagine that is who said that, right? Oh, no, this is Christopher in his interview. I'm sorry. They mentioned the unnamed source right before, and that kind of confused me. So he said the FBI hadn't shared anything with him. Everyone had been questioned. Everybody came off the ship. I have no idea what is going on right now. We are just trying to sit still and wait for answers. She was a gymnast, a varsity cheerleader. She attended Temple Christian School in Titusville. She was bright, kind-hearted. Presence brought warmth and energy into the classroom, according to the school on a Facebook post. Christopher said her ultimate goal was to join the local police department so she could protect her friends and family. He said the whole family is lost for words. We miss her and love her more than anything. Anna had been on previous cruises and raved about her love of travel on TikTok. And remember, I told you guys that as well. I noticed that from looking at her Instagram that she had gotten to go to one for her birthday, just starting her life. Hey, Adrian. Okay. Oh, we're about to get into that, Kimberly. So that is what actually dropped right before my live, or what I saw. I'm rushing around. We just got done with dinner. We're kind of doing all the things, to prepare for the next day. And do a quick search, just wanting to make sure I've got my head in order for this. And I see this exclusive surveillance footage sheds light on cheerleader Anna Kepner's final hours before cruise ship death. Now, I want to keep in mind something with you guys. We always have to keep this in mind, all of us together. Unless it comes from court documents, and I'm not talking about any court filing because people can claim whatever they want in court filings, from police and legal documents, from a judge, from a trial, from evidence submitted at trial, something like that. We cannot put 100% faith into whatever it's saying, right? It's interesting to look at. We're going to talk about it for purposes as we're kind of learning about this, but it doesn't mean that it's 100% facts, okay? And we just got to keep that in mind. So, surveillance footage recovered by federal agents has shed light on Florida teen Anna Kepner's final hours, revealing she likely died inside the cramped cruise ship cabin she was sharing with her younger brother and stepbrother, who is now considered a suspect. Now, I had wondered this at first before this article came out. Why did the maid find her? How, if she doesn't show up for breakfast, how hard is it for parents to go up to the cabin? Was she not in her cabin? Like, I had a lot of questions. Who was in her cabin? Like, who stayed there? Now we know, allegedly, she shared the cabin with her brother and stepbrother. Earlier this week, sources revealed her body was found wrapped in a blanket and stuffed under the bed. Like we said, and the FBI swarmed the ship a day later. The Daily Mail has now learned that onboard security footage captured doomed Anna's final steps as she headed back to her room on the evening of November 6th after complaining during dinner that she felt unwell. She was sharing the cabin with her 14-year-old brother and 16-year-old stepbrother, with the two boys sleeping in bunk beds and Anna in her own bed, according to a well-placed source. The boys headed back to the room later that evening, but the younger brother changed his clothes and went out again to take snapshots of the $800 million ship to post on social media. When he got back, he noticed Anna wasn't in bed, but presumed she was staying up late with the grown-ups and went to sleep, according to the source. It wasn't until the next day, when the brother and stepbrother got up and headed to breakfast, that the family realized the bubbly teen from Florida was missing. So if this is true, she goes back to the room not feeling good and never leaves again. The brothers go back, and then one of them leaves, the younger one, and the stepbrother, where's he at? If, the source is true. Thank you, Tess. Hey, Search and Rescue Canine, good to see you. She's just really cute girl. It's very sad. So, as Christopher began searching the horizon for his daughter, it's believed that a medical emergency was announced over the public address system. Sources say that prompted the dad to race to his daughter's cabin, where he walked inside to find that a cleaning crew had just discovered her dead body crammed under her bed. Now, I suppose if the family was looking for her and they just opened the cabin and she wasn't in there, like visibly, they may not look under the bed for her, I guess. So, I don't know. What do you guys think about that? Would you look under the bed? Like, if your loved one was missing, like you're in a cruise like that, you probably wouldn't assume they would be under the bed. Sources say that prompted Dad to. Okay, why am I reading that again? I'm sorry. The fresh clues emerged Wednesday, just hours after explosive court filings revealed for the first time that Anna's stepbrother is now considered a suspect in her death. First place. Wow, interesting. Well, cats are different though, Jay, because you would assume they would be under there. You know what I mean? I'm with J13. I don't think I would. Like if I thought she was hiding from me, maybe, then I would. But again, we have this emergency filing where it's claimed, quote, the 16-year-old child is now a suspect in the death of the stepchild during the cruise from his dad. This is Anna's stepmom and dad. Mm. There's more we want to look at, but let's take a look at this. Okay, so this is file photo of a carnival stateroom. But this is not what theirs looked like because it had a bunk bed. So I'm wondering, is there like a bunk bed on one side, bed on the other? And then wonder if that's what the underneath of the bed looks like. I wouldn't look for my 18-year-old child under the bed. A younger kid, absolutely. Right. Young kids like to hide. Agree. I don't think it sounds dumb, Jay. It makes perfect sense to me, especially with a cat. I wouldn't put my stepdaughter in a room with boys. Well, it's his daughter, and dad is on the cruise too. I don't know. I think I might. It just depends on to what age. When does that stop? But there, look at the boat. My God. I wonder if that is the exact boat. I think it is, but I don't want to assume either. And then what we had already looked at. Okay, so now let's take a look at the local news. Well, no, I'm sorry. This comes from Fox News. She looks like she was on the scene. I watched it earlier and saved it for us to watch, but I don't remember exactly what, so let's just watch.
All right, listen to this. New details in the death of Florida high school cheerleader Anna Kepner, whose body was found on a Carnival cruise ship earlier this month. Court filings now show one of her step-siblings could be criminally charged in connection to her death. The filing revealing Kepner's stepmother was notified through discussions with the FBI that the case could be initiated against one of her minor children as the investigation continues. Criminal defense attorney David Gelman joins me now. David, thanks for joining us. What do you make of these new details?
Carly, this is an absolute bombshell. Look, probable cause here, there's going to be a lot of it. And you got to think about it. When these cruise ships, they're like floating security cameras. They have cameras all over the place. So they have a very good idea about what happened to Miss Kepner. And, these new bombshell revelations that came out through this discovery, it shows that potentially the minor children may be an issue here, and they may be actually suspects or a suspect.
Now, there's another video I wanted to see. This is not the one that there's a news anchor on the scene down there.
I should say. Now, we don't know. It's very, very early
where
to
the
tell,
ship
but
docks,
that makes a lot more sense because the FBI is saying nothing really to the family, and that would actually play into all this. So it's very interesting to see what's going to happen.
Yeah, one of the things that Anna's father had previously said is that everybody on the ship was questioned, and then everybody on the ship was able to be let go. I'm assuming he's talking about the FBI questioning people on that ship. Does that tell you anything?
Thank you, Tess.
Well, I think that's part of the protocol. The FBI, they have to do their due diligence. They have to do their investigation. And just because they interview somebody and let them go, that doesn't not mean they're not a...
Doesn't mean anything at all.
suspect by any means of the imagination. They probably were just starting the investigation, but they have to get all the video, and that's going to be key. You got to see who went into the room, who left the room, when did they go in, when did they get out. So these are things that they had to get their hands on. And then you also got to remember, they have to do an autopsy. And I know that's not available yet, but that's going to be pretty much the end all be all of this case.
And it's Florida. I don't know that they have a law. They don't release the results of those for minors in Florida. Now, this is a federal case, but I'm curious, will it still go by those same, the same law, the Florida law, the state law? I don't know. But let's take a look at this. This is the one I meant to show us. Here we go.
Twist in a tragedy at sea, a teenage girl found dead on a cruise ship.
Her body was discovered in a room, and now authorities are weighing possible charges against someone in her family. Local 10 crime specialist Bridget Matter is live at Port Miami with the details. Bridget.
Nicole, Calvin, we found out that the FBI is probing a 16-year-old step-sibling of Anna Kepner. There's some bombshell language in new court documents calling him a suspect.
The FBI continues their investigation into the mysterious death of Anna Kepner. The 18-year-old was found dead on board the Carnival cruise ship Horizon that docked in Miami on November 8th. Investigators have not revealed the cause and manner of the teen's death. Court documents show an emergency motion in a family case between Kepner's stepmother and her ex-husband. It includes a request to the judge to postpone a December hearing because of an FBI investigation.
And now there's 2 lives ruined, 1 life lost. A lot of lives ruined, honestly. These poor parents, my God. I feel like I would be angry with, I don't know. I think I'm the kind of person where if I get with you and your child hurts my child, I'm going to be mad at you. I know that doesn't make sense. It's not fair. But I think I would, I don't know if I could do it anymore after that. I would be so resentful forever. How do you
investigation involving Kepner's 16-year-old step-sibling. It says, quote, a criminal case may be initiated against one of the minor children. Another document says the 16-year-old is now, quote, a suspect regarding this death, which occurred recently on a cruise ship. The whereabouts of the teen are not known. According to documents, he's been released from custody and is staying with an unnamed friend or family member. This afternoon, the FBI said they have no further updates on the case. The latest.
Why would he be staying with this third party? That's also kind of confusing. So Tess sent us some pictures of what it would look like with the bunk bed. So here's one. Same kind of skirt though, bed skirt. Let's look. We got 4 of them. This one also has a bed skirt. Okay. Whew. I don't know if I could sleep on that top bunk. I'd be scared. Still, same kind of tree skirt. So, I'm imagining something like this. I mean, people say, well, why are the boys sleeping with the girls and stuff like that? And I can understand naturally maybe coming to those questions. But then again, to me, I don't really care about that because it almost feels like blaming them, the parents, when you would never think something like this would happen. Right? Like we go to beach houses all the time, and there's times where, the kids might have a room like this. I don't know. This is so scary, though. I just cannot imagine, bringing another child into your home because you get in a relationship or for whatever reason, and they murder your child or, it's not looking like it. I'm trying to keep an open mind, but that's just kind of what it's looking like right now. He broke injustice. No one would suspect that would happen, right? Hey, Tara. Those are the 4 different versions of bunk rooms on this ship. Hey, Coffee. Yeah, it is weird he's not with his parent or guardian. if your child, like also as a mom, your child is under investigation for this. Let's say, you have to have it in your mind that if they're guilty, they may be in jail forever. Don't you want to be with them? Number one, so you can talk to them, so you can check on them, their mentality, so you can, until police were to make a move or whatever. Why would they be with somebody else? I feel like those moments would just be like something you would be grasping onto, right? Because you know that your child is very likely, if they are, the perpetrator, they're not going to be with you. I don't know. Hey, Pixie. Yeah, it doesn't, Jay. So there's only one other thing I wanted to show you. The long crime video is really good. I'll share it at the end with a link. Bendy, is Bendy still here? Let me know if you guys see her. Let's take a look over here, though. I just thought this was interesting, for not necessarily because of the case, but this has to do with what she was posting on her social media. I actually didn't go try to pull up her TikTok. I probably should have. Family dynamics vary. Yeah, absolutely. Nicole B. I thought I had seen you, but maybe I'm tripping. But if I didn't, hello. Can't not say hello to you. All right. So, teen shared haunting final post just weeks before her death on this Carnival cruise. The teen passenger who recently died mysteriously on a Carnival cruise ship shared a haunting final post on social media just weeks before her death. Anna, we do see this a lot though. She posted a mirror selfie complete with a caption about happiness on October 30th. I don't think it's all that eerie, but I still think it's interesting to see what she was posting and just know who she was. You deserve to be happy, but if it ain't with me, then never mind, the 18-year-old wrote alongside the snap. With her little camo pants on. My God, she's just so adorable. Freaking very sad, man. We just keep seeing time after time, like the world being robbed of these beautiful, kind, said from their loved ones to be kind, caring kids that had dreams of, growing up and becoming whatever they wanted to become one day. Right? Okay, Nicole B. Hey, Lisa Marie. Hey, Justin. Maybe because the parents is maybe witness and he's not allowed to stay with them. Maybe, Lisa, maybe it's something about that. But if it was really the three of them only in the room, and I don't know, but maybe it could be something along those lines. I could see that. They probably had to find a place for him to stay where there were no other children living in the home. Oh, okay, Kimberly. Now that also makes sense. Just to keep it like any other kid safe. Or maybe the parents were like, oh God, maybe I shouldn't have him around our other kids for that reason. I didn't see Bindi. I'm not sure if she's live tonight. If you guys know, let me know. The final post she made has been flooded with heartfelt tributes after news of the teen's death was made public. Kepner had been on the Carnival cruise ship. We already read all this. I'm not going to make you guys listen to me read that again, but let's see what they have to say about the stepbrother, though, before we go. This is a pretty short live, but we're going to be following this. Florida cheerleader. Oh, the stupid Labubu ads. Dear God. Florida cheerleader Anna Kepner's stepbrother is an FBI suspect, according to court documents, as troubling allegations emerged about her blended family. Let's see what they say about this. I know Law and Crime had the documents in their video, in their new video. The revelation came from a messy custody dispute between Kepner's stepmother, Chantel Hudson, and her ex-husband, both of whom had filed legal briefs attempting control custody of the two minor children they share. So Chantel accused her ex, Thomas, of domestic and physical abuse against their two youngest children, including the boy who is now being questioned by the FBI. This is what I was talking about at the beginning. You know, this kid does something like this, and then you hear about these court documents, and you're like, oh, so he was, experiencing, at least maybe allegedly, living in a home with a lot of violence happening towards him or someone else in the home. He's now being questioned by the FBI. Mom said that his dad, Thomas, is the subject of an active Florida Department of Children and Families investigation. The stepbrother, who identified as TH in documents, remains in the care of one of his mother's relatives. Okay. As the investigation into Kepner's death on the ship continues. Thomas fired back, accusing Chantel of a violent altercation with the couple's oldest son, who is an adult. The fight allegedly involved Chantel and her new husband, Christopher, Anna's dad. The allegations, which Chantel disputes, came to light after she went to court to try to postpone a hearing scheduled for December to address custody issues with her former husband. Why would she use this to postpone a December hearing, though? Isn't that weird? I mean, maybe not, but maybe she's embarrassed. I don't know. Maybe she's just trying to buy time. Thomas also blames his 16-year-old son's legal trouble on his ex-wife's decision to keep him away from his father, saying his future has been put in jeopardy. And I told you guys this on the first article, because of the choices made by his mother. Despite the apparent family strife, Anna's memory was honored in a touching tribute published in the wake of her death. She was remembered by her family as a beauty who lived every day with her whole heart and who hoped to become a canine police officer after joining the U.S. Navy. I'm glad we read this. There's a little bit more details. She loved the sun, the water, boat days, island days, and beach days. Anything that let her soak in the light so she so easily radiated to others, her family wrote in the obituary, where they referred to her by her nickname, Anna Banana. She never had a filter, and that was part of her charm. She had a big, beautiful heart, often sending random I love you messages or little gestures that made someone's day. The FBI Miami office is investigating the death because it took place in international waters, and no official cause of death has been given by the medical examiner's office. So that's her dad and her stepmom. That's who she was on the cruise with. Wait. In an undated, I'm sorry, I'm wrong. That's not her dad. Remember, her dad's the bald guy, but that is her stepmom. And I just looked at her stepmom, but then I just happened to notice scrolling, he looked like, dad of this. This is before they split up, before this messy divorce, in other words. So, now, I did have a question about something that was right here. Where is it? Let me see here. I just wanted to pick your all's brains for a moment. Can't remember what it was about. Let me just look. As we were reading through. I don't remember, but I am curious what you guys think about her using this to push off the court date. It's kind of interesting. Oh, I don't know. I don't know if I know that one, Kimberly. What? Maybe, but it sounds a little bit familiar. Yep, it's totally left my mind. But regardless, that's that. We'll follow it. We'll see, what happens along the way. So very sad, but definitely something I'd seen and I wanted to talk about with you guys. Still kind of watching and waiting for updates about summer. And yeah. Hey, Amber. I never heard from Bindi. Oh, yes, his mom. Oh my gosh. Yes, I do. And what was her name though? Was that her name? I do remember that mom washing his jeans, and they got it from the surveillance footage in their house. And she was stabbed. Wasn't it Tristan Bailey? She was stabbed like 115 times or something, 118. Maybe she thought her time with the kids would get cut, make a great memory before it happened. No, I'm not excusing it either, but I think that could be a reason. I agree with you. Oh, thank you, Nicole. Awesome. Thank you, guys. Oh, wow. She's doing Sarah Boone gel calls. Oh, that's interesting. Maybe she thought her time with the kids would get cut. I already read that. What am I doing? Oh, my God. I got to go, you guys. I'm tired, exhausted. I'm still not done with my chores. I will see you guys tomorrow. We're going to follow this. If anything happens, I'll let you know. There's a lot of other things we're following too along the way. We still have to go back to Sarah. And I have something I'm talking about with someone, right, in the works that I think would be really interesting, that is going to like piggyback that psychic live where, and I'm curious what you guys feel. Let me know or leave it after in the comments. Would you be interested in seeing a detailed, like the analytics of how much was accurate in some of these readings from Psychic Reverend Donna, including Valo, but also Idaho 4, cases that have been through the court system that you can actually see how much was right, how much was wrong. I think that would be interesting. But I love you too, Broken Justice. I'm just happy to see you. Yes. Okay. Ooh. That's exciting because I want to do it. And I think some of you will be excited who I'm talking about doing that with, because I know many of you guys really enjoy her too. So I don't know, Tess. I think that would be perfect. Yes. That'd be a good idea. Andy, you always have the best pictures. Look how cute you are. All right, you guys. I'm going to let you go. You guys are amazing, Melanie. Thank you for being here. Thank you for, coming to learn about this or talk about this with me. I appreciate it. Thank you to the mods, and I'll see you over. Oh, yeah, Jen, let me redirect real fast. What am I doing? See, I'm telling you, I'm not with it. I am not with it. I hope you feel better, Broken Justice. I didn't even know calls were out. I'm excited. That's really cool, and curious to hear her thoughts on that. Let's see. Bound chicky wow down here to the redirect. Not that it's happening right now, but you guys can still, if you get redirected ever to a live that hasn't started, you just hit notify me, and hopefully if YouTube works, which it rarely does, they'll send you a notification when it starts. Sarah Boone, pre-sentencing jail phone call gets the cure, something and forgiveness. So it is set now. This will transport you over to Jen's chat. I'll come over there. You know I will, Broken Justice. Anytime, girl. All right, I'll see you over at Bindy's. Oh my gosh, hold on. Is that the one with the cousin? It was her cousin that did it. and he was walking her home. Or is that a different one? Love you, Adrian. Let me know if you find it. Bendy, Melanie, Jinlu. Who's Mindy? I'm sorry. All right, you guys. I could literally sit here and just shoot the shit with y'all. But I'm not going to, because we're going to go and listen to Bendy in a little bit and all that. But we might, I don't know what I'm going to do next week. I'm going to be at the beach. So I'm like toying around what I'm going to do. But maybe we'll have some of that there, just hanging out. But anyway. Okay, Kimberly. If you remember, let me know. And yeah, I'll see you guys later. Have a good night. Thank you again. Bye.